Saram. We're here with David and Neeta, the lovely couple. And we know you have Swami stories, so we want to hear them.
Okay.
Jump in anywhere.
Yay!
Saram.
So when I was coming to Atlanta from Hong Kong for the first time, and Hong Kong to Atlanta is kind of a long flight, and there was a layover in LA. There was a very long layover in LA, about 9 hours. So I got there and I decided I wanted to see if I could get on an earlier flight. So this was before 9/11, and I went to the ground staff and said, can I get on an earlier flight? They said, well, if you can make the flight in 10 minutes, you can get on the flight, you know, if you can make it to the gate. So I decided to run to the gate. But I said, hey, I haven't informed David. You know, he thinks I'm coming on the later flight, so he won't know that I'm coming on the earlier flight. I asked the ground staff, I said, can I use your telephone? Because this is before, you know, cell phones and a long time ago. You know?
They had cell phones, but not as widely used.
Well, I had the GSM phone.
You were on a Hong Kong phone.
Hong Kong phone. So anyway, so I asked the ground staff, and I said, can I use your phone? And she actually said, yes, you can use my phone. And I said, okay. So I picked up the phone, but it was going to be a collect call. I got through to David, and I got his voicemail, all recorded on David's machine.
Well, what I got recorded on my answering machine was, ma'am, you're not allowed to say anything. Yeah, but I just need to say, no, ma'am, sorry, we can't let you talk. We have to end the call right now, click. So I got some kind of clue that something was going on.
Yeah. So anyway, I got on the flight. So I came to Atlanta, and of course, when I got off the flight, David wasn't there because he wasn't expecting me to arrive on an earlier flight.
So I had received the voicemail on my answering machine, and I realized that something is afoot. And so I called my mom and said, hey, you know, let's go to the airport. I think she's coming in on an earlier flight. I don't know exactly what the flight number is and the details and all, but let's just go. And so we drove to the airport. And so we're in the airport, but we don't know where she is. We don't know the flight number.
And I mean, Atlanta airport is huge, and it's really complicated, and so I don't know where to go, and he hadn't told me anything. So anyway, I was pacing back and forth, hoping he would have gotten the message somehow, I don't know, miraculously, but he wasn't there. So 10 minutes went by, and I was getting really worried, and I saw that they had pay phones. And I said, well, but I don't have any American money. So standing there, and I prayed to Swami, and I said, you know, I wish I had some American money. And then, just then, this old lady approaches me and hands me a quarter. And actually, she says to me, she said, would you like to have some money to make a call? And I said, yeah, I'd love some. And so she gave me a quarter. And that was just so amazing.
They had something in those days called payphones.
Yeah.
I don't know if those exist anymore. But you could put a quarter.
You could put a quarter and make
in
a call.
Payphone.
Quarters were so much more valuable.
You know, there was this thing called quarters.
Anyway, so I made the call, and then I got David's voicemail again, and I was like so disappointed. But anyway, I left him a message, and then I said, but I don't know where to go. I actually heard people being paged. So I said to Swami, I said, you know, Swami, I wish they would page me, then I would know where to go.
So I turned to my mom and said, you know, maybe I'll stay here. My dad and I'll just kind of stay here and look for, maybe you could go to the information desk and just have her paged. So my mom decides to go off to the information desk. And
so I was just standing there, and in 5 minutes, I heard my name being paged, Neeta Mirpuri, please go to E26, your party is waiting for you, you know. And so I said, okay, well, where is E26? So I'm standing there again praying to Swami, I don't know how to get to E26. And just then another man walks up to me and he says to me, you know, you look confused. I said, I'm looking for E26. And he said, oh, you know, don't worry, you take the train and you go to baggage claim, blah, blah, blah. And he explained everything. So it was complicated, but you know, because I had those instructions, I could make it there.
So we were standing by the baggage claim, that number. And
E26. So I get there, and as soon as I go up the escalator, I'm greeted by a man, an older man, and I sort of recognize him. It was actually David's father, and he said, "Are you Neeta?" And I said, "Yeah." So I was really excited. I said, "They're here, yes." So then I saw David, and then my eyes just lit up, and I was like, "Oh my God, David! I wouldn't have never found you if you hadn't paged me.
So my mom had gone off to the information desk, right? And she came back in 5 minutes and said, son, there's hundreds of people around that information desk. There's absolutely no way I'm going to ever be able to get up close enough to have her paged. Sorry, it's just not going to work out.
Yeah. But I was paged. And so he said, I didn't page you. And so I just kept quiet at that time, and I just smiled to myself and smiled to Swami. And, I was paged that day, for sure.
Paged by Swami.
Paged by Swami.
Yeah.
Not many people with your name either.
Exactly. Neeta Mirpuri is not a
How
very
many
common name.
Neeta Mirpuris would be in the airport with a party waiting for them at that baggage claim.
Exactly.
That particular day.
Yeah.